Hi guys, welcome to Cheryl's Home Cooking. Welcome to Cheryl's Home Cooking, and today what I'm going to show you is how I make my homemade bullseyes. They're the giant bullseyes, so let's get started. So I'll take 1 can of evaporated milk, it's 12 ounces. I'll pour it in my pan, along with 1 stick of butter. So in goes the evaporated milk. The 1 stick of butter, to the evaporated milk and butter, I'll add in 3/4 cup of heavy whipping cream. Teaspoon of salt. In the same cup, I'm going to add in 3/4 cups of corn syrup. I'll pour that into the pot. Now I'll add in 1 3/4 cup of brown sugar. I'll turn my burner on medium. And you want to keep stirring this until it reaches about 241 degrees. So you want to mix this all together. It takes a while, it'll probably take about 20 minutes. So I have my candy thermometer ready. I have my baking pan and I'll put parchment paper on it. I'll get it ready for when the mixture is all done. So I'll leave this off to the side. You want to make sure you keep stirring it because you don't want to burn it. I love these candies. We used to call them bullseyes. While I'm waiting for the caramel to come to 241 degrees, for the filling, you'll need 1/3 cup of shortening, 4 cups of powdered sugar, 1/4 cup of corn syrup, and 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla, and then you'll mix this all together. It'll form like a paste, and once the caramel has cooled, then you'll spread this on top. I'll put my candy thermometer in. And keep stirring until it reaches 241 degrees. Now that everything is incorporated, I raised my temperature between medium and medium-high. So you just want to keep stirring, you don't want to burn it. I also have a spatula to scrape the sides. Right now the temperature is about 165. You can see it's starting to come to a boil. So just keep stirring and stirring. I'll scrape the sides. I do have my gloves out in case it's too hot for me to handle. Put one on my hand while I'm stirring. Because right now the temperature is at almost 185. We still got a ways to go. It'll come to a full rolling boil. So that's why you just want to keep stirring it so you don't burn it. Yeah, that looks good. Still got a little ways to go. I want to keep stirring it so I don't burn it. It's getting there. It's about 225. You can see the steam. What you want to do is spread it out. Try to make it as even as possible. Level it off. Now let this cool down. So now for the filling, I'll add in the 1/3 cup of shortening. To the shortening, I'll add in the 1/4 cup of corn syrup. Half a teaspoon of vanilla extract. And the 4 cups of powdered sugar. I added in 1 tablespoon of water, so now I'll mix this in. So I put on a glove, and I find it easier trying to mix it together. So you want this to form like a thick dough. So once it's all combined, I'll leave it off to the side because I'm still waiting for the caramel to cool down. I added in 1 more tablespoon of water, so that I can combine it a little bit easier. Yeah, that's working good. So the 2 tablespoons of water worked good. So this is the consistency that you're looking for. It's a nice firm dough. So what I'm going to do now is put saran wrap on top and wait for my caramel to cool down, and then I'll spread this on top of the caramel. My caramel has cooled down, so now I'm going to put the filling on. So now I'll put the filling on top of my caramel. I put on some gloves. I'll try to flatten it out in my hand and then put it down. I'll see if a rolling pin works better. Oh yeah. Just fit it as best as you can because I'll be rolling this up. So what I'm going to do now is just spread it around. Fill in the gaps. That looks good. So now I'll start to roll it up. So now that it's rolled up, I'm going to slice them. And then place them back on my parchment paper. There's one. I'm slicing it about a ½ inch. Here's the second one. If the knife gets too gummed up, what I do is I clean it off so I can make a nice clean cut. You can see it made 20 extra large bullseyes. So what I'm going to do now is place this in my fridge. I want this to firm up a little bit. So I cut the ends off, so I'll give it a try. Nice and creamy, just like I remember. Really good. So into the fridge they go. And once they firm up, I'll put them in an airtight container. Give them a try. They're really simple. It takes a while to make the caramel, but it's a simple recipe, and they're really good. I just wanted to make giant bullseyes. And if you didn't want to make the huge bullseyes, what you would do is cut them in strips, cut it in half, and then roll them up, and then you would get the normal size. I wanted the huge bullseyes. So like I said, just cut them in strips and then cut them again and make them into bite size. You can see if you did it that way, there'd be so many bullseyes, but I wanted the large ones. So into the fridge this goes. Once they're firmed up a bit, because they're still kind of soft and sticky, what I'm going to do is just put a little powdered sugar over them so they're not as sticky. So into the fridge they go. What I did is I put a little bit of powdered sugar on the tops. So I put some powdered sugar on my plate, just dipped my finger in it, and just went around the top. So now I'll put these in an airtight container. I only put the powdered sugar because it was just a little bit tacky, so the powdered sugar makes it easier. So I put them in my plastic container, and I'll put the lid on. And I'll either leave them off to the side or I'll place them in the fridge. And I'll store them in my airtight container. You can store them in your airtight container for about 2 weeks. Well, thanks so much for tuning into another episode of Cheryl's Home Cooking and watching me make my giant bullseyes. I'll see you guys next video. Bye-bye.